10 Things You Didn't Know About Dana White. Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel. We hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we're going to share some lesser known facts about President of the UFC, Dana White. If you like our work, then don't forget to click the bell button and subscribe to our channel. It's a well-known fact that Dana White has never been a professional in his business dealings. This includes his openly mocking of his opponents and even verbally abusing them in public. But this doesn't even reveal all the shady facts about this man. There's a lot more about the UFC president that people seem to have ignored or forgotten about. Get ready for a roller coaster of a ride. This video definitely has a lot of beef going on. Number 10. Escape from Whitney Berger's gang. Dana White used to work as a boxercise instructor long before UFC was even a thing. One time, he ran into one of the infamous criminals Whitney Berger and his Winter Hill gang in South Boston. They warned him to pay around $2,500 for protection. White refused to do so. He was so afraid, obviously any sane person would be, that he immediately booked a flight to Las Vegas, and he's been there ever since. Whew, narrow escape indeed. Number 9. His biggest regret. In 2013, White recalls that his biggest regret ever in his career was not being able to sign Fedor Emelianenko to UFC. The major obstacle during this process was the shady management team of Fedor, which was headed by Vadim Finkelstein. But White was actually about to finalize a big money fight between Fedor and Brock Lesnar. But just before the big finalization, Fedor's father died and he was convinced to retire. Number 8. He suffers from Meniere's disease. Meniere's disease is a rare condition. It results in a weird ringing sound in the affected ear which can last for hours. It results in occasional hearing loss. The main reason behind this has been described as getting punched too hard. Beware of getting in fights with your siblings next time. Although Dana has never taken up professional fighting, he's still one of the few people in the world who suffer from this condition. He once had an emergency surgery in Germany. He was treated by using an orthokene procedure. Number 7. He was against women competing in the UFC. Once he was confronted by TMZ, he was asked about whether he will ever find female suitors to compete in UFC just like his competitors Strikeforce and Bellator did. He just quickly answered it with a big never. This is actually funny, considering the fact that he introduced female participants in UFC just 2 years after saying that. He even introduced Ronda Rousey as the face of UFC. Number 6. Banned Ariel Helwani from UFC. Helwani once had a strong bond with Dana and UFC, but one time, Dana White got so furious that he publicly banned Helwani from covering any of the UFC shows. But why? Dana and company had this big surprise that Brock Lesnar would return to the world of fighting with UFC, but Helwani couldn't keep all the juicy details and spit everything to media before Dana did. No surprise here, he is a journalist after all. Number 5. Eskimo brothers with Ronda Rousey's ex. There were once rumors that Ronda Rousey was romantically involved with Dana White when she signed with the UFC, but she denied all of these claims in her book. It wasn't long until Ronda's ex-boyfriend tweeted that he and Dana were Eskimo brothers. Anyone familiar with this term would definitely raise an eyebrow here. Number 4. He has a gambling addiction. Even his mother is tired and annoyed by his bad habit of gambling. She speaks in her book, Dana White, King of MMA, that, quote, Dana can lose $1 million in gambling in a few hours and just shrug it off, but he can't help out his 93-year-old grandmother. It's even been reported that he would put large sums of money on blackjack, and he would never walk out of the casino without $5 million at least. Number 3. Refused to let Randy Couture out of his contract. Randy Couture was struggling with his position in UFC, and it was related to pay problems. He wanted to leave. Not only did Dana say that these claims were false, but he also refused to let him out of his contract. Although they did resolve the problem, Randy ended up leaving UFC after some time, but he returned for one final run in the UFC. Number 2. Openly hates Bob Arum. Bob Arum, a boxing promoter, criticized UFC purchasing Strikeforce. He questioned that it was against the antitrust laws. Ever since then, He's invoked the wrath of Dana, who called him a crybaby on several occasions. He also said that Bob copies everything. Well, UFC does too. Number 1. Hates ref Steve Mazzagatti. Dana hates a lot of people, and that includes referee Steve Mazzagatti. This includes verbal abuse towards him, even to the point that he gave a 9-minute-long rant post-fight between Demian Maia and John Fitch about Steve not ending the fight when Fitch has been knocked out cold. That's the end of today's video. We certainly hope you like it. And if you did, leave a thumbs up and ring that bell notification button so you never miss any of our updates. And as always, thanks for watching.